This is the Business Agility video series, which you can watch in any order. I'm David Siegel. In each video, I spend about 5 minutes unpacking one of these concepts from Business Agility. This video is about System 1 and System 2. Let's start with a simple problem. If a bat and a ball together cost $1.10, and the bat costs $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost? The correct answer is 5 cents. Did you get that? If you didn't, you may have jumped to a conclusion without doing quite enough work, something we all do every day. I'll show a few examples from business in a minute, but first I'll present a concept from psychology that helps us distinguish two modes of thinking. System 1 is the name for the part of our brain that likes things quick and easy. It works with what is right in front of us and likes to find easy solutions, often substituting a simpler problem for a harder one. It has a tendency to assure us that it knows what it's doing, and we have a tendency to believe it. System 2 requires much more effort and attention. It's slow, effortful, analytical, and it can work with abstract concepts and things it can't see. You're probably aware of these two systems. Can you see that your System 1 is in charge most of the time, especially while doing something like driving or often having a meeting? To engage System 2, you need to slow down and concentrate. You can learn much more about System 1 and System 2 in Daniel Kahneman's fantastic book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Let's look at a few business examples. The first example comes from the world of mergers and acquisitions. Researchers at Columbia Business School have studied acquisitions, especially those that don't work out well for shareholders. They found that 3 main factors contribute to an acquirer paying too much or buying the wrong company. 1. The CEO's overconfidence as shown by her stock option holdings. 2. The amount of positive press the CEO has had in the past 3 months, especially when his picture has been on the cover of a business magazine. And 3. A recent rise in earnings by the CEO's company. So, when an overconfident CEO has the cash and the press encourages him, he tends to make bad decisions to enhance his image and feed his ego without using System 2. This accounts for around 1/3 of all acquisitions, about $1 trillion in bad transactions worldwide each year. In the US and Europe, we encourage risk-taking managers who rise to become CEOs, where the management style that got them there is often dangerous for shareholders. In South America and Asia, corporate cultures aren't centered around the CEO and are more consistent and resilient as a result. Another quick example. In 2011, J.C. Penney hired Ron Johnson, the star who had been credited with building Apple's retail empire, to run the company. His big, bold plan to rejuvenate the ailing retailer was to build mini boutiques of well-known brands inside the stores, something that had been working at Macy's and Bloomingdale's for 2 decades already. Where did he get this brilliant idea? According to Johnson himself, he trusts his gut to make his decisions, saying, "All my ideas just sort of come. I don't know how to explain it. It's all intuitive, I think." How well did that work out? Johnson was fired just 18 months later before he even had a chance to roll out his vision. He was spending too much money on secret concept stores and new technology and not paying enough attention to the 1,100 stores in the chain, many of which were losing money. If your CEO doesn't know how to explain it, perhaps he doesn't know how to make it happen. As Nassim Taleb says, most of our mistakes in reasoning come from thinking we are using System 2 when we are in fact using System 1. Fortunately, there's a way out of these mental traps. First, become more aware of your thinking. Notice, for example, that when you're tired or don't have much time, you tend to take shortcuts. If you're going through some emotional stress, you may think you're doing okay, but your decisions will be more overridden by System 1 than usual. You can even calibrate yourself using testing tools and apps on your smartphone that will help you assess your System 2 readiness. Second, rationality and decision-making workshops will pay for themselves within the first few decisions you make. After 2 days with a rationality coach, you'll see many ways you can improve your decision-making skills. Third, build systems to reinforce good skills. Make sure teams have cognitive diversity. Respect outlying opinions. Use checklists. And help all employees develop good critical thinking habits. Use these systems diligently, even when your gut says or your boss says you should do something else. We'll learn many ways to develop and maintain these skills in other videos. To summarize, very few companies can be run by gut feel over a period of years or decades. 2 of the fundamental building blocks of business agility are System 1 awareness combined with System 2 development and maintenance. It's not easy, but it does pay dividends in the long run. Come to businessagilityworkshop.com and get started on your journey.